Hey, what's going on, good people? Welcome to Russ Can Fly. Guess where I am? Yep, the airport. Guess what I'm getting ready about to do? Fly!
Perfect.
Okay, so before I make magic happen, and I do mean it is going to be magic, because anytime I fly, it's magical. I mean, it just really is. And I can't believe that this is going to be the second week in a row that I actually get to fly. After being off for 2 months, I get to fly 2 weeks in a row. Thank you, good Lord. You blessing the brother abundantly. Definitely appreciate it. So, but before I get in the cockpit, I definitely want to send a subscriber shout out. Want to send a subscriber shout out to my newest subscriber, Kevin Howell. Brother Howell, hey man, how are you and the family doing? I hope you guys are doing good. Tell everybody that I said hi, and I definitely appreciate that you subscribe to the channel. I hope you enjoy the journey, and if you are so inclined, Mr. Kevin Howell, I say come out here and join me. Although probably it'll be too long a drive, but if you want to fly, fly, Kevin. All right, it's time for me to fly.
Some weather knowledge.
Yeah.
So do you know how the air moves in like a low pressure system?
So I know one is kind of like it does like an updraft type of thing.
Yeah.
And that's when you can be in some serious doo-doo.
Real bad. Yeah, that's the low pressure system, right? So the low pressure system, the air is going like in and up.
Okay.
In and up. So whenever any sort of weather that you have, like any sort of weather, is always a result of the movement of the air.
Okay.
Okay. So if you understand how the air is moving, it'll help you understand like what kind of weather you expect to see, what kind of flood conditions you expect to see.
Right.
So like when the worst type of air movement is the vertical.
The vertical, yeah.
Going up, right? So that's the head of the low pressure system. That's the kind of weather where you have convective stuff, you know.
That's right. That's right.
Thunderstorms. That's the convective is all like thunderstorms and stuff. You have, if you look at these clouds, right? These clouds are starting to get bigger.
Are they towering a little bit?
Not too much. But I've been noticing through the day, like these are getting a little thicker and thicker. And once you look on Monday or something, probably, if it's not like overcast, or if you can actually see the clouds, you'll see the towers. These are like these.
So one of the things that you see, my CFI and I were talking about weather. That's one of the things that's so great about my CFI. He really does continue to remind me about the ground school portion of my flight training. I mean, of course, flying is the most awesome part, but it's also important to do the ground school stuff. Here, what I'm doing is I'm doing some pre-flight, and I wanted to keep a little bit of this stuff. And if you saw in the background, I lowered the flaps so I can do pre-flight. And I'm looking up my phone because I have a checklist on my phone that allows me to go through each of the points that I need to do in terms of inspecting the plane before we fly. So although all of this stuff is the least glamorous parts of flying, it is actually the most important. Understanding weather and doing a good pre-flight inspection are key to safe flying. Master, I take it we don't have to prime.
No need. Try always like in a hot day, or if it's just flu, try starting without priming. It doesn't really hurt. Don't like really stress the starter if it doesn't start, and then if it doesn't start after like 2-3 seconds, maybe 4 seconds, you know. Right. Then stop starting and maybe prime it like once or twice, and then try it again.
Gotcha. Prime throttle 1/8 of an inch. Clear prop.
Good on the side. There's your movie.
Exactly.
That's probably the other key then. So 29904, there you go.
Oh, that's easy because it's like real precise.
Yeah. So this is the airspeed right here.
Okay.
And it's a number. It shows up like this, right? This is the altimeter here.
Okay.
320. The attitude indicator is this whole thing essentially.
Okay.
Okay. You have your heading indicator here, right? Also have your heading up here as well. See that little
Yeah.
up top?
Okay.
And then on the side here, you see there's like 20, 10. You see that?
Yep.
That's your vertical speed. So
Okay.
the same as this. Okay.
Okay.
So I know it's for a lot of people when they start like doing with these glass stuff, they're not used to this, and they're so used to these things
Right.
that they're looking at all this stuff instead of all this being in one place. Really convenient for you, and you're just like, all right, I'm gonna say pitch for 70 or something like that, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna look here. All right, watch out for your altitude 3, and then you're looking all the way over here. Instead, you can look like just these two.
Because
right
it's
here.
all right in.
Yeah.
Okay.
So get in the habit of trying. When you're flying this plane, to take advantage of what you have.
Okay.
You know?
Very good.
Nice and slow here to the right. We're gonna look at this.
Okay.
This turn too. So take it nice and slow. I'll show you exactly what I'm looking for, right? So this is turning in the right direction and freely. This is turning in the right direction and freely, right? This ball is going opposite, and this is going in the right direction. This ball is going opposite, and that's going in the right direction as well.
Okay.
All right. It's a lot of things to look at once. So try and take the turn as slow as you want, and
try to look
get used to verbalizing it completely,
Okay.
right? And eventually you get to the point where you be like, okay, heading indicator, magnetic compass moving in the right direction freely, turn indicator's good, and ball's opposite. You know,
Gotcha.
for both, you know.
Gotcha.
So as you can see, there's a lot to consider even when you're just taxiing on the runway or just taxiing to the runway, in terms of making sure your flight controls are behaving properly. Now, you may not have noticed from the last flight video is I'm flying in a different training airplane because it has a different type of panel, meaning it has different flight instruments in it. This plane has new avionics or digital avionics in addition to the steam gauge avionics that the other training plane has. And so this is the first time I'm flying in what they call a glass panel or avionics that are more electronic rather than just the steam gauges. And so there was a lot to learn there and to think about and to talk about. So those are some of the things that were going on. This is all part of the training, not just the flying, but understand the instruments, how they work, and all of that kind of thing. This is all the stuff that goes into learning how to fly an airplane.
Okay.
You can go and hold short up there.
Okay.
And you go with the comms in this area, right?
Yeah.
With the pattern and stuff, so we're good. You could just do, I'll go, when you were departing, you could do downwind, base, and final. You don't have to do crosswind. This. Ooh. I almost want to fly with the window open. Oh, it's so hot. They're clear.
Clear.
No one's on final.
Wing field, Cessna 717 Golf, taking 24 wings.
Wings traffic, Cessna 91 Quebec Sierra, clear runway 24, wings traffic.
And you want to also try and say it's staying in the pattern as well, but it's fine now. You're good. You could go. Next time, you know, in the future time, just say taking off runway 24, staying in the pattern.
Sierra, taxiing to the upper ramp, wings traffic.
Yet trying to remember how to do those radio calls again. So many things to remember. So rusty.
And I guess I should have waited him to clear before I...
No, you're fine.
Oh,
I told you it was fine. Some people take a little while.
I didn't want to make it feel like I was rushing, dude.
Yeah, no.
I want you to look out the window and watch, just look down the runway. The best feeling ever.
You can add a little bit more power. Yeah, there you go. Right now.
Okay.
Try your best to stay on the runway. I'm in the center line of the runway. I know you can stay on the runway. Nice smooth rotate now. Get that triangle right to the 10. That'll be a good climbing out. See that? Right about the 10 should be good.
Gotcha.
A little higher. Yeah, those clouds are developing out there.
Yeah, I see him.
You notice it throughout the day. I've been flying all day. I've been noticing it. Looking for 1,200 feet, then turn crosswind.
Okay.
And use this, use this to maintain your center line. to maintain the straight, rectangles.
Gotcha.
Okay, so there's a couple things that came up at the takeoff. You heard my CFI say that I should have called during my takeoff that we were taking runway 24 and that we were staying in the pattern. The pattern is a rectangular pattern around the runway. We're not flying out anywhere, we're staying right around the runway. That's why we're staying in the pattern.
This is a little easier over here.
Yeah? I mean, it's small, that's
Yeah.
for sure, but if you get used to looking at it, it makes your life a bit easier.
But that whole pitch, the attitude indicator
It's
there.
nice. Now you can start turning crosswind.
Wing field, Cessna 717, turning crosswind, wings.
But yeah, you also have to say the runway you're turning is fine this time, right? So when you turn downwind, you say Cessna 717 Golf, turning left downwind 24 wings.
Gotcha. Now, should I be pitching and powering?
Not yet. You want to go up to 1500.
Okay.
Feet, right? 1500.
Gotcha.
So turn downwind now.
So we're turning downwind?
Yep.
Wing field 717, Golf, turning downwind for runway 24, wings.
Good. And then you want to see this line right here. You want to get that nice and parallel. You want to fly that line, exactly that purple line going forward in front of the plane. So a little bit to the right here, and you got to level off now. So pitch, power, trim, same idea.
Okay.
This time the power back to 2000. So you see this little dash line?
Oh yeah, this straight.
You want to line that up with the purple line. That'll
Okay.
fly you perfectly parallel to the runway.
Okay.
And let's get down a little bit to 1500. We'll take a little bit of power out, let it come down.
Okay, here we go, y'all. It's landing time. I'm telling you, landing an airplane is the most difficult thing I have ever done in my entire life.
Now as you're coming in, I'll beam the numbers. You want to go carb heat on. So turn the carb heat on now.
Carb heat on.
Power to 1500 RPM. Top view, right?
Uh-huh.
And then 10 degrees of flaps.
First notch of flaps.
Let it go, let the nose come down. Push over, push the nose over. Let it descend. You want like 500 feet per minute.
Okay.
Nice and smooth. Try and be about 75 to 80 knots here on the downwind.
Okay. So we're at 80.
Now you can turn base.
Wing field, Cessna 717, Golf, turning base for runway 24, wings.
And as you're turning base, you might want to... Now you want to add 20 degrees of flaps.
20 degrees of flaps.
Right there is good. Now don't let the nose come up, right? When you add the flaps,
Yeah.
the nose to come up, right?
Right.
So let it come down, let it come down. Your power's good. Maybe you take a tiny bit out, maybe a tiny bit of power out, and let that nose come down even more.
Okay.
A little bit more power out. Take power out. Now turn 5.
Wing field, Cessna 717, Golf, turning final for runway 24, wings.
Now you can add all the flaps.
Okay, all the flaps.
So we're a bit fast. You want to be about 70 knots out here and 65 knots when you get close to the runway. So take some more power out.
Okay.
A little bit more power out. We're good. And aim the nose right for 2-4, okay?
Okay.
Now start adding a little bit of power. Nice. Bit more power. Good. Aim right the 2-4. Aim right the 2-4. When you get over the runway, go power idle. Level off.
Power
Drop
high.
slow traffic, white warriors turning right
Now
south.
flare. Start pulling back. Nice. Pull back.
Oh,
So
sorry.
good. We were close. We were close. We were
Sorry
close.
about that.
We were close. We were almost there.
Like I
Almost there.
panicked.
Almost there. So it's like a smooth pullback throughout the whole thing. So exit right here.
Okay.
Ooh. Oh, it's hot.
Yes, it is.
Summer flying.
Wings field 717 Golf. Clear of runway 24 wings.
Here. Now go flaps up. Carb heat off.
Oh, yes, right.
And maybe reset the trim for takeoff. We're good there.
Yep.
And everything's good. So now we can start taxiing.
Wings field Cessna 717 Golf. Taking runway 24. Staying in the pattern. Wings.
Perfect. So think of when you climbing out and rolling out and taking off here. Think of the flare and the stuff the same way you kind of take off a little bit.
Okay.
Nice and smooth. Nice and smooth.
So not jerking it
Not
back.
jerking it. Right?
Yeah.
So keep an eye on what you do and what kind of even what you see almost when you're taking off a little bit.
Okay. All right. Heels to the floor. Airspeed's alive.
A nice smoothly rotate. Smooth pullback. Smooth pullback. Oh, keep it coming. Keep it coming. Same kind of idea, right?
Right.
You don't want to be too
Aggressive with the.
too aggressive with the flare, but you also don't want to be not too timid about it as well. You know,
Right.
because then you'll slam, hit the nose wheel, and you'll hit the prop on the ground. You know.
Gotcha.
You gotta find that nice little middle ground in between those two.
That feel.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, to save some time, I'm going to try to go straight to the landing here. And this landing, the first one that you saw was actually better. This one, I'm just panicking. It seems like the runway comes up so fast, and I'm not smooth with pulling back the yoke and transitioning the plane. And you'll see, it doesn't go well.
You don't have to call it crosswind.
Don't hit the cross. Okay.
Just call it downwind. Final.
Wings field Cessna 717 Golf. Turning final for runway 24 wings.
Okay. Right. You notice how far out we are?
Yes.
Right? You want to try and not be this far out when you're coming in on final, right? So I would add some more power. And I would add the last bit of flaps later, a little bit later when you get closer, because we're a bit far out. Now slowly take a little bit of power out, back to 1500 I would say. A bit more power. Maybe 100, 200 RPM more. Bunch more power. Take a little bit out. We're not going to be able to put any more flaps in, but that's okay. And right at the 2-4, right at the 2-4. When you get over the runway, power idle. Now level off. Now start pulling back nice and smooth. Pretty good.
Traffic not available.
Wow.
Pretty good. We could have held it off a little bit more.
Okay.
But it's okay. Pretty good, pretty good.
That's a lot.
Yeah. A lot of things to look at. You know, it's always the hardest thing to do. Landing is the hardest thing, right?
Just trying to see that picture, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Off. Add more power.
The landing is going to be the final frontier. I mean, there's still a lot that I need to learn in terms of flying, but most of the stuff I understand. Landing, I'm still not understand what I'm supposed to be looking at. The sight picture just still doesn't make sense to me. So, but I'm on it. I'm in it to win it.
Wings filled, Cessna 717 Golf, clear, runway 24, wings.
That was a great flight. Now, tiny bit frustrated, but you know, I can't be, because you know, this perfectionist thing, I've actually been fighting against that for, you know, all my life. You can't be perfect at something that you're not really well versed in doing. And so my expectations are always super high. So as you can see, my landings, you know, were awful. But I haven't done a landing in 2 months, and I really didn't even know how to do it then, really. And so I don't know what I expected of myself, but I really did try. One of the things that I definitely have to try to understand is when I'm in the pattern, when I turn crosswind, when I turn downwind for the runway, when I turn base, when I turn final, I need to be mindful of my speeds, because that's one of the things that I just was so overwhelmed with so many other things that was going on. I wasn't paying attention to my airspeeds. The other thing is, when I get to the end of the runway, I was doing this thing where I would come down, I was porpoising. So basically coming down, nice descent, and getting over the runway, power to idle, and then jerking the yoke back, and then that would just cause the plane to want to fly again. So things I need to work on, but man, I can't believe it. And you didn't hear at the end because the cameras died. One of the things that Manish said is that he started talking about soloing. You know, my mouth went completely dry. Like there was no moisture in my mouth whatsoever. Soloing? I mean, I know that's part of the process. I definitely don't feel ready now. Definitely have a lot more to learn, but the prospect of flying the plane by myself, I mean, I'm going into like heart palpitations right now. So at any rate, thank you for staying on this journey. We're flying, we're doing all kinds of stuff. And I can't wait until you guys get to watch me fly solo. That's gonna be crazy. All right, enough talking. Thank you for continuing on this journey. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, because I really do appreciate the support. So thank you, take care, Russ Kid, I'm out. See ya.